Imagine the consequences if the Wright brothers had decided not to pursue their dream of flight. Yes, we're talking about the same Wright brothers who ushered in the era of aviation. Their decision, born from a spark of curiosity and courage, changed the course of history. Every choice we make, no matter how small, has the potential to ripple through our lives in unexpected ways. So what influences our decisions? Let's explore. Take the case of Rosa Parks, whose decision to remain seated sparked a revolution. We've all heard the story. One day in 1955, Parks made a seemingly simple decision. She chose not to give up her seat on a bus. But this decision, born from a social context fraught with racial tension and inequality, ignited a civil rights movement that forever changed the course of history. This tale is more than just a testament to Parks's courage. It's a vivid illustration of the profound impact social factors can have on our decisions. The society we live in, the people we interact with, the norms we adhere to, they all silently shape our choices. Sometimes, they even whisper in our ears, nudging us towards certain decisions. Take societal pressure, for instance. It's the silent force that prompts us to conform, to fit in. It's the reason we often find ourselves following the crowd, even when our gut tells us otherwise. In Parks' case, societal pressure could have nudged her to give up her seat, but she chose to resist. Then, there are societal norms. These unwritten rules of behavior guide our actions, telling us what's acceptable and what's not. They're like invisible boundaries, dictating how we should act, think, and feel. Parks's decision to remain seated defied the norms of her time, challenging the status quo and inspiring change. Finally, societal expectations come into play. These are the hopes, the anticipations, the silent demands that society places upon us. They can influence our decisions by creating a sense of obligation, a need to fulfill what's expected of us. But as Parks's story reminds us, we have the power to challenge these influences. We can choose to question societal pressure, defy norms, and shatter expectations. In doing so, we can make decisions that not only shape our own lives, but also have the potential to create ripples of change in the world around us. Thus, social factors can often guide our decisions, sometimes leading to groundbreaking changes. Remember the story of Steve Jobs, who chose to drop out of college due to financial constraints, leading to the birth of Apple Inc. Decisions, big or small, are often influenced by the economic climate. Steve Jobs, for instance, found himself in an economic predicament that forced him to leave college. This decision, although difficult, led him to co-found Apple Inc., one of the most successful technology companies in the world. Economic factors shape our choices in more ways than we often realize. They set the stage for our decisions, from the choices we make as consumers to the business decisions that steer the course of entire industries. Let's take a closer look at how this works. Imagine you're running a small business. You have to make decisions every day about how to allocate resources, what prices to set for your products, when to hire new employees, and so on. These decisions are heavily influenced by economic conditions. If the economy is booming, you might decide to invest in new equipment or hire more staff. But if a recession hits, you might have to tighten your belt and make some tough decisions to keep your business afloat. The same principle applies to personal decision-making. Your financial situation can influence everything from what kind of car you drive, to where you live, to what you eat for dinner. If you're on a tight budget, you might choose to cook at home rather than eating out. If you're doing well financially, you might decide to splurge on a new car or a dream holiday. But it's not just about how much money you have in your pocket. The overall economic climate can also affect your decisions. For example, during times of economic uncertainty, people tend to be more cautious with their spending. They might put off big purchases or decide to save more money. Steve Jobs' decision to drop out of college was certainly influenced by his financial situation at the time, but his story also shows that economic constraints can sometimes lead to new opportunities. His decision to leave college and start Apple was risky, but it paid off in the end. Therefore, economic circumstances play a crucial role in our decision-making process. Consider Malala Yousafzai, whose decision to fight for girls' education defied cultural norms in her society. This brave young woman serves as a powerful example of how cultural influences can shape our decision-making process. Culture, in its broadest sense, encompasses the shared values, beliefs, and norms within a community or society. These cultural elements are ingrained in us from an early age, subtly guiding our thoughts, actions, and most importantly, our decisions. Take, for example, Malala's own story. Growing up in a society where girls' education was not prioritized, and in some cases actively discouraged, Malala could have chosen the path of least resistance. She could have accepted the status quo, a decision that would have been heavily influenced by the cultural norms of her society. Yet she chose a different path. She chose to fight for the right to education, a decision that went against the cultural norms prevalent in her society. This decision, no doubt, was influenced by her own personal values and beliefs, which were in turn shaped by her experiences and the cultural context in which she found herself. In our own lives, we may not be faced with decisions as monumental as Malala's, but our choices are nonetheless influenced by our cultural backgrounds. The cultural norms that dictate appropriate behaviour, the values that determine what is considered good or bad, right or wrong, and the beliefs that underpin our understanding of the world can all impact the decisions we make. Whether it's deciding on a career path, choosing a life partner, or even selecting what to have for dinner, our cultural background plays a role. It influences our perceptions, shapes our preferences, and ultimately guides our choices. This is not to say that culture is the sole determinant of our decisions. Other factors such as personal experiences, individual personality traits, and societal expectations also come into play. But understanding the role of culture in decision-making can help us make more informed choices. Thus, our cultural background significantly influences the decisions we make. Think of Elon Musk's decision to invest in electric vehicles and space travel, driven by advancements in technology. In today's world, technology plays a pivotal role in our decision-making processes. Let's take a deep dive into how it can shape and influence our choices, using Elon Musk's ventures as a prime example. Elon Musk, a name synonymous with technological innovation, made the bold decision to invest in electric vehicles through Tesla and interstellar travel with SpaceX. These decisions were largely influenced by the rapid advancements in technology and a vision of a future powered by sustainable energy and space exploration. When Musk founded Tesla in the early 2000s, electric vehicles were far from mainstream. However, he saw the potential in advanced battery technology and electric powertrains, predicting that these technologies could revolutionize the automotive industry. This decision was not based on the current state of affairs, but rather on the technological trends and advancements he foresaw. Similarly, Musk's decision to establish SpaceX was driven by the advancements in aerospace technology. He envisioned a future where interplanetary travel is a reality, not just a fantasy. His decision to invest in this venture was influenced by technological progress and the potential it held for transforming space travel. These examples illustrate how technology can influence our decision-making. Technology opens up new possibilities and opportunities that were not conceivable before. It can inspire us to think beyond the status quo and envision a future that is different from the present. However, it's crucial to remember that technology is a tool, and its influence on our decisions is as constructive or destructive as we allow it to be. It can lead to groundbreaking innovations like electric vehicles and reusable rockets, or it can lead to decisions that have adverse effects on society and the environment. In conclusion, technology can shape our decisions by providing us with new possibilities and opportunities. It allows us to envision a future that is different from the present and inspires us to make decisions that can bring that future to life. Hence, technology can be a powerful influencer in our decision-making process. So, decision-making isn't as straightforward as it seems, is it? We've journeyed through the labyrinth of decision-making, unmasking the 4 environmental influences that shape our choices: social, economic, cultural, and technological. Let's jog our memories a bit. We've learned how our social environment, the people and institutions around us, can shape our decisions, often subtly. It's about conforming or rebelling, fitting in or standing out. It's about the impact of peer pressure and societal norms on our choices. Diving into the economic influences, we discovered that our decisions are often a balance sheet of gains and losses. Economic factors can dictate our choices, from what we buy to where we live, even who we choose as our life partners. Exploring the cultural influence, we uncovered how our background, beliefs, and traditions play a significant role in our decision-making process. Our cultural heritage can often be the unseen hand guiding our choices. Lastly, we delved into the world of technology, where we've seen how digital tools and platforms can both aid and complicate our decision-making. The internet, social media, AI, they all hold sway over the choices we make. Understanding these influences can empower us to make better, more informed decisions. After all, every decision can change the world. Just ask the Wright brothers, Rosa Parks, Steve Jobs, Malala Yousafzai, or Elon Musk.